Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I've got the car back in the garage. We got to do some work to it. Saturday night at the races, I was in third, racing for second, and the dude in second just kind of woed up a little bit more than I thought he was going to, and I didn't react in time. And I got into him. It was straight bumper to bumper, it felt like, and it wasn't that hard of a hit. And I finished the whole race. I ran about 10 more laps. I didn't even think anything of it. And then the car died. When they pushed me back to the trailer, I was winching it on, and I was strapping the left front tire on. I looked over, and the frame's almost straight up on one side. So I've already got the nose and fenders off to try to see what is all wrong with it. But we got a little bit of work to do. Here where it's bent in front of the suspension. I mean, literally right in front of the steering box. So I'm not even worried about it affecting the way the car handles. I'm just worried about from a safety standpoint and it taking another hit. I'm either going to figure out a way to bend that thing down here on the farm, or I don't want to do it this way. It's getting a new bumper anyway. I could cut that bumper off and come back with a slider right here on the side and just leave it the way it is and build a new bumper. All this on top is straight. I don't know how that happened, but it didn't bend anything else. The fan wasn't even hitting the shroud. That's not what I want to do. Or I'm just going to chop it off and plate it and build a new bumper. Next day or two, I'll decide what I'm going to do, and we'll go from there. It dying, when it got home, it wouldn't start at all, so I had to look for something, and I could probably pull it back out. It's actually the wires in the back that go from the base of the distributor to the distributor. Yes, I saw this pin. If I can get it back to refocus. I saw this pin just hanging down like that. And I'm going to... I don't know yet. You could put it back in there and it'll start. I'm either going to black tape that thing in and then take a whole spare distributor in case that don't fix it, or just go ahead and change the distributor. We'll see. But on top of that, I got to change the spark plug in my truck too. I have this kit because I've already had to use it one time. You drop this thing down in the spark plug hole, it lines everything up. Run this reamer down through it that takes out all the material you need to. Use this air hose to blow out any chips that were in the motor. And then you retap it. This insert screws down in the head. The original spark plug goes down in there. I've done one of them. It's still holding right now. But that's what we got to do. So we're going to go ahead and get on it. Let's get to work. Keep doing that. It's going. Let me hit on it. Well, here it is. Me and my brother tugged on it with the backhoe as much as we could. And we got it pushed down. It needed to come forward. We really didn't have a way to do that, so we got it pushed down. I'm about to plate all that up and weld it up, so hopefully it won't happen again. We did collapse this shock. When the blocks underneath it broke, it shoved that thing all the way down and destroyed that shock. But I don't have time to replace it, so it's going to go to the racetrack next week with a blown out left front shock. I'm sure it'll be fine. It's fine. I'm very happy with the way this thing turned out. I think that'll hold for a little while. The red duct tape adds horsepower. Okay, I got my borescope here. Luckily, the spark plug that came out was the second one. I just unplugged the fuel injector. It blows the coil all the way up. You can see where it was hitting the fuel rail, just sitting there bouncing. And the bolt's still in there. You just unplugged the fuel injector, and it drove all the way home fine. I've got my bore gauge here. That tiny strip of metal in there is what's holding the spark plug in. There's like 2 threads. They're notorious for just blowing it out. So that reamer cuts out that little piece of metal, and then you thread that entire thing there and put the steel insert in there. I was making sure the piston was down so none of our tools hit it. But it looks really clean in there. Those are cross hatches. And this thing's got 170,000 miles on it, so at least that's a good sign, but it's not so good that it's blowing spark plugs out. Yep, there they are. There's no threads left. So, we're going to have to get that fixed. Now I gotta blow all them shavings out of there. I'm gonna put this tap in. This thing taps all the way down to that snap ring and then it stops, and that means you've went far enough. We'll get the rest of the chips out of there and put the spark plug insert in, it'll be done. Okay, we're gonna look down in there and make sure we got all the shavings out before we put the spark plug down in it. And come on. Yeah, now that whole thing is threaded, and that insert will just seat right there and the spark plug will be in it. It's kind of hard to turn this thing around. I don't see any chips or anything inside here. I think that's just scuffs on the pistons, but yeah, the cylinders look good. Now we've got full threads here for the spark plug, so we'll get it fixed. I have a new spark plug here. It goes in the insert. I'm about to mix up some JB Weld and put on the outside, and your spark plug becomes your installation tool. You just go down until you hit that edge right there, and it seats in and becomes part of the engine. So that's how it works. Over here on the parts shelf, I know I've got a box with some cheap Chinese coils. Here they are. Oh yeah, don't even have a name on them. That way you know they're quality. And that's all there is to it. We got the coil back on. I'm going to give that JB Weld 24 hours to set up, and we'll fire it up tomorrow, but I'm going to call this truck done. Well, that's going to do it for today, guys. The car's all back together, ready for the next race. That's going to be probably at Creek County next week. They have a 50-lap race, 1,000 to win. And that's where I plan on going next. And also, the belt will be on the line. Me and my buddies got this thing, and every time we race together, whoever finishes the highest gets to take it home with them and bring it back to the track every time we race together. I don't know how they're ever going to see it other than right here, but we'll see what happens next week. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you then.